Bird singing, fresh and delicate greenery, a richness of colors, pleasing coolness, and a mysterious aura. Forests can help us rest and recover physically and mentally. However, forests are more than just for relaxation. Forests are the most valuable and complex terrestrial ecosystems on Earth. They are the living environment for thousands of plants, fungi, and animal species. Forests produce life-giving oxygen, filter the polluted air, stabilize precipitation, retain and clear water, and protect soils from erosion. Forests are vitally important in the conservation of biodiversity. The life of a forest, natural abundance. Diversity is particularly valuable in nature because it creates balance. All organisms that build the forest environment need each other and form sophisticated interrelations. Plants cannot live without animals, and animals cannot live without plants. Forests are an exemplary environment that demonstrates and explains biological diversity. Continuous evolution lets us admire a plethora of varieties and forms. The immense diversity of living organisms results from their adaptation to the natural environment they inhabit. The constant formation of individuals with new traits that are passed on to next generations increases the survival chances of species amid incessant changes in the world around them. When a species becomes extinct, the services it provided for the ecosystem are lost forever. It is not possible to replace them. Man-made damage and the transformation of the environment result in many species losing their habitats. Forests in Poland cover nearly 30% of the country's area. This solidly green patch looks inconspicuous in the bird's eye view, but inside it is buzzing with life. Forests are home to nearly 70% of all known and described organisms found in Poland living in the wild. Polish forests are formed of around 50 tree species. The most abundant and significant are pine, spruce, larch, fir, oak, beech, birch, alder, and ash. In our latitudes, they form deciduous, coniferous, or mixed stands. However, less abundant species, also known as admixture species, such as aspen, rowan, hornbeam, maple, and sycamore, also determine the richness and diversity of tree stands. The composition and diversity of a forest depend on its geographic location, altitude, its distance from the sea, and the influence of ocean currents. In Poland, 15 habitat types of lowland forests, 3 habitat types of upland forests, and 7 types of mountain forests have been distinguished. Coniferous forest habitats of poor fertility cover the largest area, where fresh coniferous and fresh mixed coniferous forests dominate. They represent over half of all forested areas. They are largely composed of evergreen pines. Pine, as a pioneer species, grows very well in a wide range of habitats. It is undemanding with regard to the substrate it grows on, which makes it able to live both on dry, sandy soils and in marshy areas. Because it is strongly sun-loving, it tends to tower over other trees in the forest. Its trunk can reach 45 meters in height. Alongside typically forest communities, woodlands also contain some non-forest ecosystems with their specific flora and fauna. These are mainly arable fields, meadows, heaths, peat bogs, and wetlands. Bog forests are a special kind of habitat. They grow in land depressions, hollows, river valleys, and deltas, ravines. Their formation is mainly determined by groundwater levels and periodic inundations. As they present a remarkably favorable living space for very numerous species of animals, plants, and fungi, they are immensely important in species conservation. In early spring, soon after courtship displays, cranes disappear in waterlogged alder forests to lay eggs. They pick secluded and inaccessible places. Adult birds, now in couples, build their nests over water. The nests can reach 1 meter in diameter. The female lays 2 brown, darkly spotted eggs. Brooding lasts around a month. From spring to autumn, moose roam the vast open wetlands. They feed intensely, finding plenty of fresh food. Moose lead secluded lifestyles, enjoying the presence of mud and water. They have very sharp hearing and keen noses, but a little poorer eyesight. They like wandering about and often cover large distances. In winter, when temperatures drop deeply below zero, moose must move to the forest and look for food there. Apart from bison, they are among the largest animals in Poland. Their weight may reach up to 800 kilograms. The most essential role in a forest is played by trees. which form a subtle composition of interpenetrating microclimates throughout its complex vertical structure. Conditions in the forest floor are different to those at the trunk level and those higher up the tree canopy. Each layer creates slightly different ecological conditions that suit various organisms. Trees form the topmost level of a forest. Overshadowing the forest floor, this layer suppresses evaporation from the floor and increases air humidity. The tree canopy is particularly important for birds. Both small and larger songbirds feel fine here, as well as large birds of prey. A wide tree crown is good to build a nest on. The black stork is secretive and very timid. That is why it lives a reclusive life far away from people. In remote backwoods and vast waterlogged forests. Here it feels safe. For its nest, it favors old trees. Once constructed, it can serve for many years. The black stork population in Poland is currently around 1,200 couples. Trees are also home to beetles, from very small to very large ones, such as the great Capricorn beetle. Great Capricorn beetles boast antennae of impressive size, often longer than the insect's body. Their Polish name suggests a relation with oaks. They avoid dense tree stands. For their development, they select trees thicker than 40 centimeters with deeply grooved bark and growing in sunlit places. Their larvae develop and feed in old, usually lone oaks, where they carve out fair-sized corridors. Beneath the canopy lies the undergrowth layer. It is formed by young trees and shrubs that can withstand the shadow cast by higher trees. It includes juvenile pines and spruces, as well as saplings of various broadleaved species. Undergrowth also comprises young stands planted by human hands all at the same time, which makes them of similar height and equal age. This layer reaches up to 4 meters, providing a safe hiding place for insects and birds among the plant thicket. The great spotted woodpecker produces 1 clutch a year. There can be up to 7 chicks in the hole, so there is some bustling about feeding them. Many species of large mammals also live in the undergrowth, finding shelter and, above all, food. Wild boars feel best living in deciduous and mixed forests. Smell is their sharpest sense, although their touch and hearing are also well developed. They are typical omnivores. Rooting through the forest floor, they dig out tree and shrub seeds, fruit, berries, mushrooms, and invertebrates. Boars are very beneficial in the forest. Acting as natural ploughs, they enable plant self-dispersal, and by eating all kinds of insects, their larvae and pupae, they reduce the numbers of forest pests. European bison. These beasts are Europe's largest mammals living in the wild. Up until recently, they were under the threat of extinction. Their current population amounts to just over 1,000. Adult males can weigh up to a ton and reach a grown man's height in the withers. They live in herds of around a dozen, but in autumn, they merge into groups of up to 40 individuals. They are incredibly fit and resilient. They can travel long distances in search of preferable areas. In Poland, they can be found in the woodlands of the Białowieża Forest, Borki Forest, Knyszyn Forest, Bieszczady Mountains, and Pomerania. The undergrowth shrubs and young trees are home to many species of spiders. Using glands on their abdomens, spiders spin silk threads to form cobwebs for trapping insects. Spider silk is a very durable and flexible material. The shape and pattern of a meticulously woven cobweb is distinctive of each species.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, isn't that? Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me.
It hunts on the ground, lying in wait, and then strangling its prey. It is not venomous. It feeds mainly on rodents, but it won't say no to bird eggs and hatchlings. Adult snakes can also hunt other snakes or lizards, but those are rare cases. The watchful golden oriole, exotically colored and constantly on the move, intently penetrates the thicket of shrubs. It searches for some tasty spiders and caterpillars to bring to its children. It builds a barely visible basket-like nest among dense leaves several meters above the ground. In autumn, colorful fruit appear on most undergrowth shrubs, while trees produce nuts and seeds. The layer located just above the ground is the herb layer. It is composed of around 600 plant species. In early spring, when it gets warmer and when still leafless trees and shrubs let a lot of light reach the forest floor, riparian forests, oak hornbeam forests, oak woods, and beechwoods are clad in colourful patches of spring flowers. Then the herb layer takes its most lush and beautiful form. In March, wood anemones emerge in the forest. They stretch in compact sheets over vast surfaces, replacing the brownish forest floor of winter with a green and white carpet. In dense coniferous forests, where deep shadow lies, there are hardly any herbaceous plants. Their place is taken by mosses and lichens. Amphibians dwell in the moist nooks of the herb layer, while snakes and lizards can bask in the warmth of sunlit and exposed areas. Black colouring and bright yellow spots are distinctive of Poland's largest tailed amphibian, the fire salamander. It leads a nocturnal life, though sometimes, especially on rainy days, it leaves its hiding place to go on a hunt. It moves clumsily and slowly, so its diet includes mainly earthworms and slugs. It is a loner. When surprised, it does not run away, but freezes. It prefers to live in moist beechwoods. The natterjack toad. This amphibian is incredibly difficult to find, although it is distributed across the whole territory of Poland. It usually chooses habitats on the edges of coniferous forests or on dunes. Throughout the day, it remains in hiding, burrowed into the soil or under rocks. It is not until the mating season that it moves to moist sites. Courtship takes place mostly at night. Males try to attract partners with loud, rattle-like calling. It is the smallest of all toads in Poland. The herb layer is also inhabited by numerous mammals, such as badgers, foxes, and hedgehogs. In spring, when temperatures rise to around 15 degrees Celsius, hedgehogs wake from their winter sleep. These small mammals with pointed snouts and little eyes typically inhabit sparse canopy forests with thick undergrowth. Their bodies are covered in spines which provide protection against predator attacks. Hedgehogs are omnivorous, with earthworms being the main component of their diets, owing to their availability, mass presence, and how easy they are to catch. The layer closest to the ground is the litter layer. It is formed of freshly fallen leaves, twigs, bark peelings, seed fragments, and dead animal remains. Its composition is determined by tree species growing in each biotope. The dead wood that litters the forest floor is a particularly important element of this environment. It provides the basic source of organic matter and creates life environments for thousands of species whose survival depends on the presence of wood. Many of these species are rare or protected. For forest rodents, fallen logs are a perfect place to hide. Another group of organisms associated with deadwood are fungi or decomposers, which feed on dead organic matter. Their role in the forest is invaluable because they rank among the few organisms able to break down cellulose and lignin. Fruiting bodies of the sulfur polypore grow stacked together over decaying oak logs. They often form large groups, and their mass may reach as much as 10 kilograms. They can be found from spring to autumn. During frostless winters and in early spring, scarlet elf caps emerge from the melting snow, growing on falling twigs and branches. These brightly red flower-like fungi occur individually or in loose groups. They prefer wetland areas underlaid by calcareous material. During the long periods of rainy weather from summer to autumn, the coral tooth fungus forms its fruiting bodies on the fallen trunks of broad-leaved trees, mainly beeches and oaks. These structures are a veritable ornament of a forest, bearing a resemblance to intricate corals. Ants are ubiquitous inhabitants of the forest little air and soil. 103 species have been reported in Poland. These small insects with slender bodies and large heads live in great communities. They are remarkably hard-working and beneficial. Every day they travel long distances in search of food and remove millions of harmful insect herbivores. They act as a forest sanitation service, decomposing uneaten debris and animal excrements. The forest little air is also where beetles, snails, and some spiders live. For millennia, forests have undergone constant transformations, adapting to the conditions prevailing on Earth. In order to function properly, this rich ecosystem needs tree stands that are diverse in terms of species composition and age, with large and small open areas, and with trees left to naturally die and produce slowly decomposing wood. Today, to let forests perform their numerous functions, it is necessary to wisely manage their resources. Polish foresters care to ensure that the natural abundance of our forests is preserved. It is them who, through sustainable forest management, secure the stable continuity of the wildlife richness, regenerative potential, and the vitality of forests and the forest's ability to serve protective, economic, and social functions now as well as in the future.